Hello, 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 sellers. It's Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in. Come on in. Happy New Year. I'm going to date this for folks that are listening or might watch on the replay. It's January 2nd, 2023, and happy New Year to everybody. So come on in, and we're going to start the new year with ways to get free inventory. And I'm going to share a top way. I thought about it because I actually walked by this source of free inventory today. And I said, you know what? Let me stream and share about this. So come on in, come on in. Glad to be here and to see everybody. So ways to get free inventory, obviously, and it's one that many sellers, when they're first starting to sell on eBay, or even after you've been selling on eBay for a while, is your own closet. You know what I mean? Just open up the closet, you pull things out that you don't wear anymore that are still great. You go through your drawers, you go through your kitchen cabinets because kitchen stuff is great, but you go through your own personal possessions and then look them up on eBay, checking advanced search. eBay now gives us free access to Terapeak. Thank you, eBay, which is a great research tool. And you list it on eBay. But what I wanted to bring up, which you may not have thought of, or you maybe not quite so aware of it, but something I'm aware of very much in New York City, is moving day or moving time or moving season, depending on where you live. So here in New York, and I live in Midtown Manhattan, it's a very mobile population. People regularly move. They're regularly moving in and they're regularly moving out. If you live in an area that is a college town, I actually spent some years in junior high and high school in Princeton, New Jersey, which is a college town. For you, you're going to keep your eye out in the fall as the students are moving in. And as the students are moving out, typically around May can be a great time for picking up inventory. But moving time is huge. And you will know for the area that you live in what seasons tend to be the most active for people moving out. And this is why I bring it up. So here in New York, and certainly this is going to be true if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Chicago, if you're in a city area, is the big moving time tends to be the end of the month. So when people packing up and moving to a different neighborhood or a different city, different locale, but they're moving at the end of the month. So keep an eye out at the end of the month. And in your area, it might be the middle of the month. It might be more seasonal, but you'll see people discarding things on the curb. The other thing about keeping an eye out on moving day is, and what made me think of it was because I passed a moving company, is you'll see a moving company on the block. You'll see a moving company in your neighborhood. You'll see a moving company on the street. And you're seeing lots of items going out of the person's home, whether it's an apartment, whether it's their home, whether it's a house. So you just see a lot of items going out. And typically what will happen once they're done moving everything is you'll see large bags, or just depending on the neighborhood, like how they recycle things, it could be discarded at the curb, which can happen here in New York. Some things are placed at the curb. Other things are placed in recycling areas. We have recycling areas for our buildings, or by the garbage. They'll just be in big bags. This can be gold for eBay sellers. Again, whether you're a newer seller or more experienced seller, because people discard all kinds of items. And it's not necessarily that there's anything wrong with it. It's just they're not using it anymore. This can be clothing. This can be appliances. This can be storage things. I've picked up all kinds of cool stuff for storage. In fact, I went to, it was a business going out of business, and this was in Midtown, and they were giving away tons of storage things, things to store inventory in, all kinds of boxes and trays, and literally just giving it away because they were downsizing their office space and they no longer needed all these things for their office. Well, trust me, I'm very organized now, thanks to this business that went out of business, and everything was in lovely condition. They were just getting rid of it. They didn't want to sell it. They just wanted to give it away. I was like, yay. I also picked up a couple of really cool DVDs from them that they were getting rid of that I flipped on eBay. So again, moving day, moving season, spot, you see the moving truck. And what I do is for myself is I just take a picture of the building. So I remember the building number, and I'm off doing errands or doing whatever I'm doing. And then I'll come back typically an hour or two later just to see what things have been discarded. I've picked up shoes and sneakers and just all kinds of things this way. And things like an appliance, like you might come across like a coffee maker, is a favorite one of mine. And the cord is cut, which means, it doesn't work anymore. Yeah, but some of those coffee makers, the pod holders, if it's a pod machine, the pod holder, the water reservoirs, all of that will sell very well on eBay. So keep an eye out for that kind of thing. When you're seeing things like stoves discarded, here in New York, we have recycling days for that. The knobs sell. And I'll take a picture of the make and model number on the appliance so I know what the make and model number is. This is true with microwaves. When you can grab the inner trays from the microwaves, I'll shoot a picture of the make and model because that's going to help me with research when I get home. But look for moving days. Look when people are moving, because once they've done their move, once they've got their items in the truck or the movers have the items in the truck, they're often things that are discarded by the curb, by the garbage. They're absolutely great. You're saving it from the landfill. You're going to find it a new home. In the suburbs, there's the big recycling days or the big days where people put things out to be picked up. And that can be a great thing to keep an eye on. Again, sometimes scavenging the parts, and you're saving the things from the landfill and you're giving them a new life. But moving day is a great one, and moving season for those of you that are in university towns can be a great, great one. So then the next question is, as you're picking the things up, and I'll research things right on the spot, I just pull out my phone and start looking, is to consider, you sort of have to like open your mind of things that sell. For instance, like the pot holders on the coffee machines do sell. The microwave turntables do sell. And also things like camping equipment can sell, sporting equipment can sell, is to keep an eye out for things that are going to sell and you're getting it for nothing. And if you do get some things and you look at it and you find the resale value really isn't that great and you've carried it home, because I've done that sometimes. I'll just have like a big IKEA bag and I'm just throwing things in the IKEA bag and I take it home, is either putting it in bundles or I just put it into shopping bags and then I donate it to my local thrift shop because they're going to make nice money from it. So keep that in mind, because sometimes I don't have time to research it right there. I need to just grab the stuff and run. Or it could be the weather. I see some rain coming on and I need to get inside and get dry. So just realize that I'm just going to recycle it. And if it's something that's not going to work for me selling on eBay, then I just donate it to a local thrift shop. But moving day, moving season can be a great way to get inventory. And I've got a guide for you on my website. If you hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, what you're going to do is you're going to see my guide for fall and winter essential products guide. And this is really just to help you open your mind to things that sell this time of year, that sell fall, winter, that you may not think of, like camping equipment. And camping equipment is a huge, huge, huge category. Also storage things. It's like living here in Manhattan, space, we value our space. Every little inch of space is valuable. But guess what? It is on RVs too. And RV camping is massive in the United States. So all kinds of fun things that can help people in RVs be really wise with their space. So space saving things, again, you might be in an area where you have tons of space and there's tons of space in your kitchen and tons of space in your office. But for people that have restrictions on space, space saving things of all sorts can be super, super, super helpful. So hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and grab Fall and Winter Essential Products Guide, and keep an eye out for when people are moving in your area. Again, you might be going to flea markets, you might be going to thrift stores, and they have that box of free stuff. You might be at yard sales the last day, they have that great big box of free stuff. Always take an eye at it, because oftentimes there is gold in those free items. And again, it's free, so you're able to take that into mind, when you're pricing it. I got some great athletic shoes free. It looked like they were selling for like $50, $60 online. So I went a little under. I went for like 45 because I had gotten it for free. And sure enough, they were sold in, I think like 2 weeks. So again, the great thing about getting free is you can then, be a little under everybody else's price and move things quickly and get money into your pocket and increase your sell-through rate, which is a great one. So enjoy my free Fall and Winter Essential Products Guide. And I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.